No matter where or when, the love between parents and children is always a wonderful thing. Parents give boundless love to their children, and children respond with gratitude. Parents often do everything for their children, but sometimes the way parents do everything goes wrong, and it can lead to extremely terrible things. This is Jennifer Pan, a young girl with a beautiful face but a heart full of hatred. She could be considered a girl who hated her parents the most in this world. She hated her parents so much that she made a professional plan to hire assassins to kill her own parents. So Jennifer did? What made a young girl, only 20 years old at the time, act so cruelly against the people who brought her into this world? Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, we will learn about this horrible case. Jennifer Pan was born in 1986 to parents Bich Ha Pan and Hui Han Pan, refugees of Chinese descent from Vietnam. They fled to Canada seeking safety and a fresh start, eventually settling in Toronto. After marrying in Scarborough, they welcomed their two children, Jennifer and Felix, born in 1986 and 1989, respectively. The couple worked at Magna International, an auto parts company in Aurora, Ontario. Han worked as a tool and die maker, while Bich took on the job of assembling car parts. Together, they saved up enough to purchase a nice house in Markham by 2004. This city in the Greater Toronto area, known for its significant Asian community, provided them with a sense of stability and accomplishment. The Pan family seemed to have built a life defined by hard work, frugality, and dedication, their lives set against the backdrop of Toronto's suburbs. Jennifer Pan's life was shaped by the ambitious goals and high expectations of her parents, Bich and Han. From an early age, her schedule was filled with piano lessons and rigorous figure skating classes. Her dream of becoming an Olympic figure skater was shattered when a knee ligament tear ended her skating aspirations. During her time at Mary Ward Catholic Secondary School, she played the flute in the school band while striving to meet the demanding standards set by her parents. Han, considered a classic tiger dad, tightly controlled her every move, with Bich acting as his reluctant accomplice. They kept a firm grip on Jennifer's daily life, forbidding her from dating and even attending high school dances to ensure she remained focused on academics. As Jennifer moved into young adulthood, her life continued to be heavily restricted. She wasn't allowed to attend parties, drink, or even go on trips without her family. At 22, she had never experienced the freedom that many her age took for granted. Her friends saw her upbringing as oppressively restrictive, a sentiment that grew within Jennifer herself. Despite the weight of her parents' expectations, Jennifer Pan's academic performance throughout high school was largely unremarkable, except for her proficiency in music. She struggled to meet the high standards set by her parents and went as far as forging report cards to convince them she was earning straight A's. A significant setback occurred when she failed her calculus class in her senior year, which led to Ryerson University, now Toronto Metropolitan University, withdrawing her early admission. Unable to face the reality of disappointing her parents and driven by a fear of failure, she wove a web of deception. Jennifer claimed to be attending university, but instead spent her days in cafes, teaching piano, and working in a restaurant. To maintain this facade, she fabricated an entire academic journey, convincing her parents that she had received scholarships and had been accepted into the pharmacology program at the University of Toronto. She even bought second-hand textbooks and watched pharmacology videos, meticulously filling notebooks with detailed notes to present to her parents, perpetuating the illusion of her academic success. Jennifer Pan, still under the weight of her parents' strict expectations, sought a semblance of freedom by requesting permission to stay near the university campus with a friend during the week. However, she was actually living with her boyfriend, Daniel Kai Kwong Wong, whom she had met during high school. Daniel Wong had a background that mirrored Jennifer's struggle with academics. Of mixed Chinese and Filipino descent, he transferred from Mary Ward to Cardinal Carter Academy in North York due to low grades, eventually studying at York University. He also led a double life, managing a Boston Pizza while dealing marijuana. This clandestine arrangement with Daniel further exemplified the lengths Jennifer went to in maintaining the facade her parents expected, while secretly pursuing a life that diverged from their rigid expectations. Jennifer Pan's elaborate deception began to unravel when she falsely claimed she had started volunteering at the hospital for sick children while pretending to finish her degree at Ryerson University. Her parents, Han and Bitch, became suspicious of her supposed volunteer work after noticing the absence of a hospital ID badge or uniform. Bitch decided to follow Jennifer to work, only to uncover her daughter's deceit. Enraged, Han wanted to expel her from their home, but Bitch convinced him otherwise. Jennifer was still reeling from her earlier failure in calculus, which prevented her from graduating high school. Eventually, she worked to complete her high school education and, with encouragement from her parents, aimed to apply to university. However, due to Daniel Wong's diverse ethnic background and reputation, Jennifer was forbidden from seeing him or going anywhere besides her piano teaching job. Despite these restrictions, she and Wong continued to speak secretly, maintaining their relationship in defiance of her parents' rules. By the age of 24, Jennifer Pan was facing the fallout of her carefully constructed facade. The strict restrictions imposed by her parents made it difficult for her and her boyfriend, Daniel Wong, to maintain their relationship, as she was required to live at home, and they could only meet in secret. Tired of the limitations, Wong ended their relationship and began dating another woman. Devastated by the breakup, Jennifer fabricated a disturbing story to win him back. She falsely claimed that a man had entered her house, brandishing what seemed to be a police badge. Then, she said, several other men rushed in and gang-raped her. Jennifer even went as far as to claim that a bullet had been mailed to her as a threat. She insisted that these incidents had been orchestrated by Wong's new girlfriend, attempting to manipulate his emotions and regain his attention through fear and sympathy. In the spring of 2010, Jennifer Pan reached out to Andrew Montemayor, a high school friend with a reputation for boasting about robbing people at knife point, although Montemayor denies this claim. Through Montemayor, she met Ricardo Duncan, described as a goth kid. Jennifer later claimed to have given Duncan $1,500 to kill her father in the parking lot of his workplace. However, Duncan refuted her account, stating that he only received $200 from her for a night out, which he returned. He also insisted that he declined Jennifer's request when she asked him to kill her parents. Despite their tumultuous relationship, Jennifer Pan and Daniel Wong reconnected in 2010. Together, they devised a chilling plan to hire a professional hitman to kill her parents for $10,000. Jennifer stood to inherit $500,000 after their deaths, and the couple planned to use the money to move in together. Wong introduced Jennifer to Lenford Roy Crawford, a Jamaican-born man he referred to as Homeboy. Wong provided Jennifer with a SIM card and an iPhone to ensure her communications with Crawford wouldn't be traceable. Crawford then linked Jennifer to Eric Sean Sniper Carty, who in turn contacted David Milviganum, a Montreal-born individual. Crawford resided in Brampton and Milviganum in Toronto, while Carty had no fixed residence at the time. The prosecution argued that Milviganum was one of the hitmen involved in the plot. Notably, Carty was later convicted for a separate murder in 2009. On November 8, 2010, the murder took place in the Pan family home, located in the Unionville neighborhood of Markham, Ontario. Jennifer Pan, following the plan she and Daniel Wong had orchestrated, unlocked the front door before going to bed. She then communicated with David Milviganum over the phone. Shortly thereafter, Milviganum and two accomplices entered the house through the unlocked front door, each armed with guns. The Crown couldn't establish the identity of the other two intruders, but it was clear that Wong and Lenford Roy Crawford were at work during the attack. Eric Sean Sniper Carty who confessed to being the driver for the individuals who broke into the house, admitted his involvement in selecting the assailants and plotting the attack. However, he did not reveal himself to be among the trio who directly carried out the assault. The triggerman's identity remains unknown. After entering the Pan family home, the three men demanded all the money in the house, ransacked the main bedroom, and took Bitch and Han Pan to the basement. There, they shot both parents multiple times. Bitch was killed, but Han miraculously survived his injuries. The men stole $2,000 from Jennifer Pan before fleeing. Jennifer claimed that she was tied up by the intruders but managed to dial 911 despite her restraints. Han was initially treated at Markham Stouffville Hospital. Due to the severity of his injuries, he was transferred by air to the trauma unit at Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto. Initially, the police believed that the Pan family's wealth had attracted the perpetrators to their home. However, their skepticism grew when they noticed that many valuable items remained untouched, and Jennifer Pan herself was left unharmed, even managing to dial 911 despite claiming her hands were bound. The night following the murder, Jennifer underwent her first police interview. When Han Pan awoke from his coma, he informed the police that he had seen Jennifer whispering to one of the intruders in a friendly manner. This revelation heightened suspicion, and Jennifer was arrested on November 22, 2010, during her third interview at the Markham police station. During this interrogation, she admitted to hiring the killers but claimed they were meant to kill her, not her parents. The investigating officer, William Bill Getz, used the Reed technique, a psychological method often involving deception, to obtain Jennifer's confession. He falsely informed Jennifer that he had software that could detect lies and that satellites using infrared technology could track movements inside buildings. In Canada, it is legal for police to lie to suspects about evidence and their investigative strategies, which gets leverage to secure her admission. The aftermath of Jennifer Pan's confession led to a series of arrests in 2011. David Milviganum was apprehended on April 14 at the Jane Finch Mall in North York, Toronto. The following day, Eric Sean Sniper Carty was arrested at Maplehurst Correctional Complex in Milton, Ontario, where he was already in custody for an unrelated offense. Daniel Wong was detained on April 26 at his workplace, and the final suspect, Lenford Roy Crawford, was taken into custody on May 4 in Brampton. Jennifer Pan, meanwhile, was held as a pre-trial inmate at the Central East Correctional Centre in Lindsay, Ontario. The trial of Jennifer Pan and her accomplices commenced on March 19, 2014, in Newmarket, Ontario, and lasted for 10 months. All defendants, including Pan, Daniel Wong, David Milviganum, and Lenford Roy Crawford, pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and conspiracy to commit murder. The prosecution's case against them was robust, featuring detailed analyses of mobile device movements and extensive text message exchanges between Pan and Wong leading up to the murder. Over 100 messages were sent between them in the 6 hours before the attack. The nature of the break-in and robbery, along with the specifics of the shootings, raised suspicions, as did inconsistencies in Pan's testimony. Evidence highlighted Pan's obsession with Wong, her emotionally detached demeanor, and a lack of genuine emotional response to the crime she orchestrated. Notably, she was not assaulted, blindfolded, taken to the basement, or shot, which left her as an unharmed eyewitness, a significant anomaly that cast further doubt on her version of events. Testimony from Han Pan starkly contradicted Jennifer's account, significantly undermining her credibility. The trial saw more than 200 exhibits and testimony from over 50 witnesses. On December 13, 2014, Pan, Wong, Milviganum, and Crawford were convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for 25 years. Eric Sean Sniper Carty was also initially tried with the group, but his lawyer, Edward Sarpiano, fell ill, leading to a declaration of mistrial for him in the summer of 2014. In December 2015, Carty pleaded guilty to conspiring to commit murder and was sentenced to 18 years in prison, with eligibility for parole after 9 years. He he reportedly opted for a guilty plea to spare Han Pan the ordeal of another trial. Jennifer Pan was sentenced to life imprisonment with no possibility of parole for 25 years for the murder of her mother and the attempted murder of her father. Her father and brother requested a restraining order to prevent her from ever contacting them or other surviving family members. The judge granted the order despite the objections of her defense team. Additionally, Pan is forbidden from contacting Daniel Wong again. By 2016, Pan was incarcerated at the Grand Valley Institution for Women in Kitchener, Ontario. Wong, who was previously held in Lindsay, Ontario, was at Collins Bay Institution in Kingston. Milviganum was imprisoned at Atlantic Institution in Renus, New Brunswick, while Crawford was held at Kent Institution in Agassiz, British Columbia. Eric Sean Snipeth Carty, who had requested to be transferred to a federal prison in Western Canada or Atlantic Canada, was at the Millhaven Assessment Unit while awaiting his transfer. He was later moved to Kent Institution, where he died in his cell on April 26, 2018. Jennifer Pan's story is a tragedy about lies and desperation. Feeling trapped by her parents' strict expectations, she arranged for their murder to gain freedom. This resulted in her mother's death and left her father severely wounded. The aftermath shattered her family. The lesson is simple: harsh expectations can push someone to make terrible choices, but nothing justifies what she did. Jennifer's story warns us about the destructive power of lies. Thanks for watching. What are your thoughts on this tragic story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in exploring more gripping true crime cases, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more.